Well, here's my next project. We live in rural Virginia and we don't have any internet service, so this is our Starlink. We placed the order and got it, and of course I just got it sitting in the yard right quick. Just temporarily, it's got to have a northerly facing sky, so those trees are all obstructing it right now. Not so much of those are over here. So my plan is to get them out and put it on the side of the house up here. It's about as high as I can get it, maybe another 10 foot higher than the house. Hopefully I don't have to cut any trees down, but so far, just with it sitting on the ground, I've got better service. Even with all the obstructions it's getting, I've got better service than my hotspot that I'm using right now. We're currently getting 1 to 2 megabytes a second on our hotspot speed. And with this one right now, we've got between outages 150 to 200 megabytes a second. And so it seems like it's buffering fast enough between outages that if you're playing a video, it just plays seamlessly. So far it's pretty good. And if it's this good sitting on the ground, I can't wait till I get it mounted on the above the roof of the house there. So I don't have the mount made yet. I've got to reach out to a fabricator and get that made. So hopefully in the next section of this video, you'll see the mount. And as I get it mounted on the roof, stay tuned. Here's some quick stats of it sitting on the ground. Outages every 41 seconds. Lots of outages. All right, so I came across some speed rail. These are like handrail stuff, like if you're putting handrails up. And this is going to fit the bill for what I'm looking for. So what I ended up with is a 10 foot long piece of handrail. And I'm gonna, you'll see in a minute, I'm gonna drill and tap me some holes right here. I'm gonna use 2 as like a set screw and 2 as like a stop for the satellite to fit down in the hole and stop. And then I'm gonna run the cable down it and get that going there. So, and then I'm just gonna drill the holes here. And this is gonna give me all the flexibility I need. So this is one of these things that kind of come about after the fact whenever I was trying to figure out my mounting situation. So my mounting situation, again, I'm gonna mount it up there on the beside that vent, and I'm gonna snake the wire in through the bottom of the vent. But that's gonna give me about 2 foot of clearance there, and then about 8 feet sticking above the house, give or take a little bit. So I got this little lift right here, so I'm gonna try to keep everybody posted as I go through this process and get this thing mounted. And I'm gonna do some before and after video of obstructions and what my stats are to kind of see how much we've got improved here. Okay, as you see, I got Starlink in the stowed position. I got it off its base, so in the stowed position, you know, it's at a pretty steep angle. And then my plan is to slip this up. I've got some screws, so I'm gonna put me 2 at the bottom as like a rest, and then 2 on the sides as a something to stabilize it here a little better. So I'm like 2 1/8. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna come up 5 1/2 inches. So by coming up 5 1/2 inches, no, not 5 1/2, I'm sorry, 4 1/2. I'm gonna mark that right there. That's what I'm gonna use. And what I was talking about, I got these stainless steel screws here, these Allens. I'm gonna actually go ahead and run them all the way through like that, so this has something to rest on when it goes down in the pipe. And then I'm gonna use 2 more up here as like set screws to set it in there. And the reason why I'm using 2 is because it's got there's a little bit of slop in here, so I'm just trying to stabilize a little better. So we do have hurricanes here in Virginia, and I'd like for it to be stable if we have a hurricane that does come through. Now I don't have a drill press, so this is gonna be a little crude looking. All right, so these are 5/16 by 18 screw thread, so I got a tap. So I'm just going to drill and tap it and run those in. I thought about doing some, just like a through bolt, but decided that might be in the way if I'm trying to work on something, so it'll be easier just to do two on either side. Alright, that way I'm about as perfectly lined up as it's going to be for what I'm doing here. Nice, that'll work. Now flip it over. Opposite side. It's a little crooked, but again, it'll work for what I'm doing. Okay. So those are my two spots where it's going to set down in the hole. See that? All right, then the next. If y'all didn't know, that connector just pulls right out. So you see, it's a little bit of floppy. So my plan is for that to rest just like that. And I'm gonna try to push them both to the side. All right, I'm trying to get my ideas because this two different diameters right here. So if
still videoing?
yeah, I think I might just take the put. So just measure this down. I'm gonna go 2.5 down. One under. All right, I'm gonna do one at 1 inch. And one at 2 inch. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Again, I got these screws, stainless steel section at Lowe's. You can probably pick them up any kind of hardware store. I went with stainless steel because I'm trying not to have anything that's going to rust potentially. So aluminum pipe, stainless steel there, stainless steel here. The tap set I didn't have. Picked that up at Harbor Freight. Got a good drill bit. Okay, let's show you what this is going to look like. Remember the cable slot, I'm going to keep that opposite of that. So we'll slide it down there like that. Matter of fact, I'm going to make a mark. And it's not dead center on this because I have had the dish online and it's rotated, so it's not, you know, it's off center just a little bit. It does rotate around for alignment purposes. We'll do it like that. Now tighten these up. Oh. And of course, I'm just dry fitting this right now. Put it together a little better here in a bit. That is it. There we go. That's basically what it's going to look like once I get it up in the air. Yep, that'll work. All right, time to mount it to the house. So I just shot some time-lapse camera of me going up and putting the anchors in the side of the house for the speed rail, and just taking some time and getting my measurements just right to make sure everything turned out the way it was. So not a whole lot to see here. That's why I did some time-lapse. So just kind of pass the time here. Alright, so I missed out on a little bit of video right there. Phone issue, but as you can see, I got the pole up there. I did tape the cable. I wrapped a little bit of electrical tape around the cable and then around the post of the satellite itself to keep it from falling out, since the weight of it felt like it wanted to kind of pull out. So at least that way it'll keep it stabilized. And then of course I'm gonna run it in that vent up there through the attic. But basically that's the install. I'm gonna go ahead and boot it up. You see how it's at a weird angle right now. That's its last stow position. So I'm gonna put my phone back in my bracket right quick and go power it up so you can watch it adjust. All right, she's in place now, so I'm gonna start collecting some data. I still gotta go up there and run the wire through the attic. I'm gonna probably end up leaving the router in the attic because I've got an outlet up there, and I really don't see no need. I'm gonna use a Wi-Fi bridge to get it down to my Google Mesh system. If I don't keep the Starlink router, we'll just see how that goes. But so a pretty good view. I got a couple trees over there. I might have to end up cutting those trees down, which wouldn't hurt my feelings because they're gum trees. But again, I did the visibility to kind of see what the sky looks like. Hopefully this will get me up out of some clearing, but do some stats and some data here in a bit, and I'll update that. Okay, here's the up close install. So here again, those speed rail stuff you can buy on Amazon. The pipe, you probably want to find that locally sourced. It's just handrail pipe. I think it was 1 7/8 outside diameter. Schedule 40 thickness, I think. I can't remember. But that worked pretty good for the Starlink adapter, the pole itself to fit down in there. As you see, we're positioned. Again, this is sturdy install. My particular install, I just need to clear the shingles just a little bit. So I got me about 1 inch, I don't know, 1/2 inch clearance. So I'm good to go with that. I cut these the length, which, you know, they're just close. So it's just like a piece of pipe right there, sandwiched in with those set screws. If you needed to get it farther out to clear your roof, you just cut these pieces longer and make it as long as you want to. So really easy to do. Probably a little bit more on the expensive side, but I wanted something that looked good and didn't look tacky attached to the house. Again, I just drilled a hole. The vent itself, it only comes down to like right here. And so this is actually plywood right here. So I just drilled a hole in there, and I'm gonna stick some screen in the hole just to keep bugs from stuff coming in it. And the cable, just a little bit of a drip loop right there for rain. I am going to stuff something up in here to keep wasp or whatever trying to get up in there and make nest. But so again, that's the install. Like I said, I'm in the process. I'm going to run this all the way to the other end of the house where the outlet is and put the router at that end. And again, I'll put some stats on here before I finish this up. One quick thing, I was careful about aluminum. Even the set screws that I put in up there are stainless steel, but these are not. These are just like zinc coated, and you have to hammer them in with a hammer to drive them in. And I don't want them rusted. So I had a thing of duplicolor, what was it, silver? I don't know, some silver duplicolor paint for one of the vehicles. I got it out and I just touched up, it's like a fingernail polish thing, but it just touched up the heads of these, coated them real good where I've mushroomed them just a little bit. And hopefully that'll ward off any rusting of these bolts, since they're not stainless or aluminum. Zinc coated, but like I said, I did smash the ends of them trying to drive them in. So, but just wanted to add that note. All right, here's the finished product. It blends in pretty good, so it's hard to see, but it does look good. Here's my obstructions map. So I'm up to 2 minutes, every 2 minutes now versus 41 seconds. Here's some obstruction data. And then my Google Mesh router system does speed test in the background. You can see that I was as low as 1 megabyte per second, a little less than that. And now I'm averaging about 64 in the mid 60s with that. So thanks for watching.